One of the questions I get asked most is, what is attachment? And I want to try to explain it in the simplest terms in light of what I sometimes refer to as the secure base system. Of course, other people have talked about secure base, the circle of security. There's various ways of talking about this, but the secure base system seems to make the most sense to me. And the idea is secure base is that children come into the world with the need for felt security, and felt security is provided primarily through the parent or the caregivers in their lives, and they rely on their secure base to experience felt security. Later we'll talk in much more depth about what this involves on a physiological, neurobiological level. But notice this, that when there's felt security, right, that a child feels relaxed, they feel calm, and at the same time they don't want to just go to sleep. So when you feel secure, this activates the exploration system, which is really the precursor for feeling self-confidence. And so a child would be out here exploring a room with toys in it and sort of checking things out and even socializing out here, right? So this ability to sort of engage their environment and to explore and to be interested in the world is all contingent on their belief, right, in their head that the secure base is there and accessible. Now, if there's some kind of perceived threat, whether it's coming from the outside with maybe a stranger who shows up, or if it comes internally for the child, right, they think, they don't feel good, or if somehow this belief they have that the parent is available or accessible, if something comes up that challenges that, and there's a perceived threat, then what happens is that it activates the attachment system per se. Now, when the attachment system turns on, when this is activated, then it essentially turns off the exploration system. It's kind of like heating an air system that you have at home. You set the thermometer to 70 degrees. If it gets too hot, then the air comes on. If it gets too cold, then the heat comes on, and the two systems are incompatible, or should be. That's the way the exploration system and the attachment system work. Is once the attachment system is activated, the child feels anxious, or they may even feel angry, but they feel upset. The attachment system is activated, and they begin to signal to the caregiver, right? And this is the caregiver's detection system, right? The caregiver has to sort of read, what is this? And the child and the parent begin to work together. The child activates this signaling, and then the proximity seeking. And proximity seeking is when children are making a noise and they're upset and they're moving toward the parent using whatever locomotion skills they have to sort of get them closer to the parent. And the parent's caregiving system is activated, and they work together to get back here to the safe haven. Now, once you're in the safe haven, then you're back to getting calmed down. You get back to secure base, and then you're back out here at the top. Now, this is the basic system itself. It unfolds hundreds and thousands of times over the course of a child's early childhood experience. And based on this model, there are a number of very powerful things that happen. I'll just mention a few, and then in some of the future videos, if you want to get into more depth about how this affects our social emotional lives, depression, anxiety, relationships, etc., all come from understanding this system. One of the things is the self, and its development is occurring when children are up here. This is where they develop their sense of self-confidence and their interest in exploration, right? Their basic self-esteem. Down here, we see the view of the other. And are other people reliable? Are they accessible? Can I count on them? Will they be there for me? And then also very importantly is, how do I handle my emotions, right? How do I handle my feelings? Can I count on other people to help me with those? Or do I have to sort of suck it up and do it myself? All the feelings that you have about your feelings are, if you will, wired in at this level. So what happens with Secure Base is your sense of self, your sense of other, and your sense of how to handle your feelings are all wired in on a fundamental level in your brain, at really an implicit level. And we'll talk about what that means in our next few videos that go into more depth and really elaborate more on the Secure Base system for both understanding individual problems, but also problems that can occur with children and in families, looking at romantic relationships and intimacy, and some of the things that matter the most to us in terms of how we handle our feelings and learn how to problem solve and communicate with other people during times of stress.